Hello crafty friends, I'm Sarah Arciniega. Welcome to my channel where I feature scrapbook process videos. So today I'm showing you the layout that I actually did in my last process video, and I used the dies from the Round We Go bundle, and so today I was inspired to use the stamp set side of the bundle, and so I will be doing a layout using just the stamps instead of the pinwheel dies. If you missed this process video, I will link it down below. But moving on, I have two pieces of white daisy, and I just think the stamp set, that shape, it just lends to like fun and whimsy. And so my brain went to the amusement parks. And we actually just got back from a little road trip. My sister and I took our kids on a road trip, and we spontaneously stopped at the Mall of America in Minnesota. And my 4-year-old daughter loves Paw Patrol, and there in that amusement park, they actually have a Paw Patrol land. And so she was in seventh heaven. And then the other picture is us up at the food court, kind of just looking down into all the craziness. But I think this stamp set will fit the amusement theme park really well. For my paper, I actually turned to Close to My Heart's Let's Party collection that was released last winter. And so this paper, there again, just screamed amusement park. And then the little border down below is actually just the zip strip, and it has a bunch of banners along it. So my thinking is that I will put my pictures through the middle and then use the stamps to kind of make the border on the outside of the pages. So I am using a sketch from Crafty Concepts with Erin. I am one of her downlines, and so she shares sketches with us each month, and so this is one of her sketches, and she had a large circular element there in the middle. It was a tire, I believe, and I will link her video where she shares that page that she did with the sketch down below as well. But I thought that it would be cute if I used a Ferris wheel, and so I'm pushing these pages together so we kind of get the 12 by 24 canvas here. But what I was noticing is with my picture and with the Ferris wheel, when I put the picture over the top of it, I think you just kind of lose part of like that it's a Ferris wheel. And I wanted to make a bigger statement. And so I'm going to adjust things just a tad and put it there on the left. And then my 4x6 picture will go there, and then I will put these three here lined up. I will probably end up using a flip flap to do some journaling underneath one of those. So off screen, I matted all of the pictures in black, and I just felt that helped carry the black throughout the layout rather than just having it isolated over there on the left. The sketch actually did have another piece of paper there. When I put the green paper there, it just was a little too Christmassy for me. I have very strong color associations. I do like the blue better. I did use a smaller strip as well, but I think I decided with all of the color that I'm going to have in the stamps that I was going to leave that white. And so that's what I plan on doing there. I do like a little more black just to separate things, and there again to keep carrying that throughout. And so I'm going to put these little strips here, and I think it makes the little banner piece stand out more rather than just blending in with the striped paper. So you might be wondering why I'm posting this video today. As many of you are aware, Stampin' Up! Is actually releasing a new mini catalog today, and I did actually pre-order some things, and we'll have some videos coming up, but I decided to go ahead and just get this one out here. But let me tell you, there's some good stuff, and so I will go ahead and put a link down below if you're interested in checking that out, and stay tuned for some fun videos. So what I'm showing here now is I have stamped and then actually used the dice to cut out the stamps, and these I kind of played with color quite a bit, and so at first I did some color combinations, and then I moved over to just using one color. And so you can see that like on that one I did Bluebird, and then second generation Bluebird, and I did Jade, and lastly Sundance and second generation Sundance. But I liked those monochromatic looks better than the multicolored ones, and so I'll put those aside and use them on something else. And I did use Candy Apple and Ballerina I liked it better than the candy apple and the second generation candy apple. So I decided to try some glitter paper underneath the little diamond shaped design on the Ferris wheel. And then around the outside, I will actually just place some scrap papers of the different colors. I did use the lighter side of the cardstock on this. I just felt like it looked a little better than the richer colors. I never mentioned the Ferris wheel actually is just from a Cricut file. So if you have Cricut All Access, it should be included in that. And if you don't, then it was like $1 or something like that to purchase the file. And so now what I'm doing is putting tape around the back side of the cardstock, and it doesn't have to look pretty on this back side. And if there's extra tape, it doesn't matter. It'll just stick to the white paper behind it. So here I'm showing kind of how I did the two-tone little designs, flowers. I'm not sure what we're calling these, pom-poms. And so what you do is you do the full strength, and then you just twist the stamp a little bit, line it up. It is the photopolymer stamps, and so you can see through them. And then you just use the remaining ink, and it gives you the lighter color. I'm kind of a clunky scrapbooker, so you will see how I'm not so graceful here. But I decided to get my Misty out. When I used my Misty on these, I was actually getting some richer color, and so I just wanted to show that. However, without thinking, I went ahead and inked up my stamp like normal. It was still on the block, and then I was like, well, I don't want to waste that ink, and so I took it off the block with the ink still on it and put it there. I could have just wiped it off and re-inked it, but I didn't, and so I got ink all over my fingers, but that's okay. And so the thing with this too is you can reapply the ink and get a really solid good first impression, but it is a little tricky to do the twist because you have to peel it off, and then it still has ink on it, and so there again I got my fingers a little inky. But the one thing I did like about it is, like I said, the color was just much richer. The other way, just doing it by hand, I was kind of getting kind of like a vintage distressed look more than the really solid look. But both actually work great, so you can do either one. Here I'm gonna do the green again, so I do first generation, and then just twist it a little bit, let it soak in first, and then twist, and it's pretty easy to do. So the whole reason we were in Minnesota was because it is one of the states I haven't been to, and I'm on a mission to hit all 50. I'm at 47 after this little road trip, and so my sister was fun enough to come with me, and we hit Minnesota, and I'd been to all the states around it and just had never been there, and so we specifically went to Minnesota and had a great time. It was a really fun vacation. And so right now I'm showing the dies. This little die that I'm placing in the middle actually does not cut anything out. It is what leaves the little holes. I'm not sure you can see that. I should have brought it up closer to the camera, but there's little holes around, and most of them do come out on their own, but I did have to pick out a few just with this little Cricut tool, or I've used like the straight pin that comes in my glue, or tip of my scissors. You might just have to poke a few of those out. But these are a leftover product from Close to My Heart. I actually got them during the warehouse sale, and the cool thing about these stickers, you can turn them whatever color you want, but the polka dots don't pick up the ink. And so I knew that this would be either really cute or really spazzy. But I decided I liked it. It is a little spazzy, but we're gonna go with it. And so here I'm placing the little, we're gonna call them flowers, flowers around my word America. I will go back in with a little label later for the mall of part of the title. But here I'm going to just kind of scatter these about and get them in good places. I'm going to put some under the photo here, and then some on top and other places. These do get moved around several times before I'm all finished. So I'm curious, have you ever been to Minnesota? And if you have, what did you enjoy doing there? We actually spent quite a bit of our time up on the North Shore, and it's just so pretty up there. So you'll probably see some layouts in the future, documenting that. But we could have stayed much longer than we did. It was so fun. The kids had a blast in the lake, and it was great just to be outside. And I live in the South, and so summer is like so hot unless you're in the water. And so it was nice just to, it was still hot in Minnesota, but not as hot. So here I am bringing that little label that I told you about. I just printed this off from my computer, and then I dovetail the ends. I recognize that it needs to, of course, be on black to show up on the white paper. And there again, that kind of brings more of the black down. And so I just go ahead and fussy cut this. Can't really cut super straight, but it's close enough. I end up actually tucking in the left tail of that banner behind one of the little flowers, and like the way that looks, but I, in trying to decide like where do I want this, and it does end up there on the left. So I'd seen some cards where people had done like second generation and then used some more of the little flowers like up on dimensionals, and it was a really cute look. Like it gave, just some fun interest to the card. And so I decided to do that, to bring in some stamped images as well as the ones I stamped on white daisy and cut out. I will use the little Stampin' dimensionals to raise those up. So I also want to use the scatter stamp that they have in this collection, and so I ink that up with candy apple, and I'm going to do it in different colors, but up here in this corner I wanted to do it in red. I wanted it kind of coming out from the picture, and then when I went to lift it, the whole picture popped off, but that's okay. So here I'm just setting it where I want it, and then I'll put my picture back down. But I kind of did like one area at a time, but tried to look at the whole as well because I did want some balance. So there's also a center right now. Most of mine are white, but I decided that I want to put something there. And so I actually tried some glitter paper, the same glitter paper I had, on the Ferris wheel. And I was going to maybe put that in the middle of all of them, but I did decide to stick with the monochromatic, flowers. And so I just used the color of the cardstock. I did cut those out with the dies that come with the set. There is actually a stamp where you can actually stamp it as well, but I just went ahead and cut mine out. So as you can see, I moved down to the lower part, and oops. Like I said, things were not going super smoothly for me, but no problem. We can just cover that up. And really what I probably should have done was the stamping. I should have probably done that before I glued the papers down, because there were just too many layers, and so my stamp wasn't even when I was trying to do that. Sometimes you can get away with it, but this one, it was not working. So to balance out this area, I'm going to have some of the splatter stamps right here, and I'm doing it in green, but it will be going off the page. But of course, the other part of it would be on the other page, and so you can see that I went back and did that there as well. And at this point, I'm noticing all of my little floral things are all, like, there's nothing on the left side, and it was hard besides the stamped ones. And that was kind of hard to put them on top of the Ferris wheel. I didn't like how that looked. Besides right here in the middle, I decided that was a perfect spot for one. So rather than the diamond, I'm actually going to cover that up and use one of these little flower type images here. So I like that just kind of brought that element over there on the Ferris wheel instead of the Ferris wheel just being an isolated item. So the last thing that I decide to do is this Potions and Spells collection had a little scatter stamp that had the same shape, the diamond shape, and then it had also the little star, like crisscross star, and so it kind of tied the two together, and I thought, it's just little teeny, I'm going to do that in black around in a few spots. And so you can see that I did those in black, just kind of here and there. Not too many of them, just a few to tie in that little diamond shape. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to become part of this community and hit the subscribe button. And then also I wanted to show you what I'm sending as a thank you gift this month. These are 10 tags. They're pretty simple, but this is all close to my heart product that I have in my craft room. So decided to share that so I can make room for some more Stampin' Up stuff. But I will send you a kit where all of this is cut out. Because it's close to my heart, I can actually stamp these, and then all you have to do is color them and glue them. So you'll need scissors and tape and some markers, and then you will need some ribbon as well. But I will die cut out the items for you as well as stamp the items for you, and you'll just get to put them together. But you can see my 4-year-old liked them. She's gonna snatch this bell one here in a few minutes, and so I'm just showing you how like all the pieces will come. So here's the die cut of the ornament, and all the stamped pieces will also come. But those will just be fun gift tags that if you place a $50 order this month, I will send you all of the supplies to make these cute card or tags. And then if you spend $75, I will send you the tag kit as well as a package of embellishments from Stampin' Up. I appreciate all of you watching and supporting me, and I hope you have a great day.